Okay. All right. 343 just put out an update with for Forgers for Forge that includes being able to add music via script to your campaign maps. So I'm gonna show you how to do it real quick. So what you do is what I did was I just opened up my own brain for this purpose alone. That way it doesn't really get confusing. You do have to kind of time into some of your other encounters in your other brains, but I'll get to that. It's very simple. Um, you're primarily going to want to do it using an area monitor via entering that area as an object, that object being the player, triggering the music. So the way I did it here was, well, you can start music at the beginning of the game, and it's literally this is all you need. On game start, which is in events at the top here on game start, and then you can access the audio nodes in audio. Uh, all you really want to use for music is just two of them, really. Honestly, you can even get away with just using one of them, which is play music track for all players. And I say you can just use this one because technically, um, if I have a music node playing and I enter another area of a music node playing, it'll end the previous one and play that. But if you want it to end clean with like a fade, and that's what this fade time is here, so I think it'll take 5 seconds to fade the music out. Um, then what you can do is stop music track for all players, and you could do it if you want for one player, which is this. All players one is really all you're ever going to need if you're making campaign, or if you really want for just one team. But you're primarily just going to use the all players one for both starting and stopping. Now, I will show you an example. So this is kind of like my cue for the first encounter. The game will start with music playing. So eventually, when the player reaches this point, enters this area, it will stop the previous music and just begin playing that one. I didn't even use a stop node for that. And I'll demonstrate by moving a spawner a little bit closer and blocking these. All right. And then so you'll be able to see as we start, my initial audio is playing in the background there. It's kind of like an ambient soundtrack, and that's just like a type for each variant, and I'll get into that. And then when I enter this area, you'll see it'll just stop and then just start playing. See how it didn't fade out though? That's because I didn't use a stop node. I don't really care, to be honest. I'd rather just start. And yeah, this is like a combat type of node music, whatever you want to call it. So let me show you. Let me show you. I'm gonna get rid of wherever I just put it. There. So the types of music. Let's see here. You open this up, and then you have the sound properties at the bottom here. There's different folders, UNSC music, endless music, whatever the hell that is, special music, monitor music, so like the monitor boss fight in the actual campaign, heroic music, which is just kind of like, you know, you can already kind of picture heroic music, Forerunner kind of vibes, Covenant, Banish, you get the idea. And just to give you an idea, that ambient music that played when we started here is a banished ambient, kind of just background noise. So whenever you're kind of headed into an encounter, you're not really there yet, you want to use these ambients, or even some of them have what's called tension, which is like kind of tension rising music. Not really music, it's really just like a background noise, like you know what I mean. So yeah, you have plenty of options to work with here. There's heroic music. I didn't look through all of them yet. I just wanted to get a video out for people trying who aren't familiar with scripting. So yeah, I mean, you can even just reference this. This is literally all you're going to need. Area monitor, which is what is it? A variable down here. You grab an area monitor, and then on object entered area is going to be under objects, somewhere in here, if I'm not mistaken. No, wait, no, that's in events. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a lot, and it gets to be a lot. Not custom events. It is events on object entered area, which is somewhere. Here it is. Get, get is player. That means the object entering the area is a player. Branch. It's just checking to see if this is true. So it's saying yes, it's a player. Since that's true, well, what I do is I delete the initial pointer that I used, because sometimes if you don't, it'll just trigger for everybody who walks in. So the first person who walks in, it'll delete it, and then it'll just continue on with the script. That way it plays once. But get is player, you'll find that in players on here. And then branch is just under logic. Branch. Wait for n seconds. I do this. You don't really need to, but it's also under logic. I do this because I don't want it to start right away. I want it to wait 2 seconds. So, wait n seconds, wait 2 seconds here. You can do however many seconds you want, and then it will play music track. So that's really it. Again, this is just, I've got my own little, I've got all these brains. These are just for each encounter. So I've laid encounter 0, that's like when the game's starting. Encounter 1, 2, 3, so forth. And then I just did a music brain for all these area monitors. Again, you will see if I open up here in encounter 2, ignore all this stuff. It looks like a lot. If you do want to end the music at the end of encounter, like say this one here, for example, the script is saying basically when I kill the boss, it's going to stop the music track, and it'll take 3 seconds to fade out, although I want it to take 5 actually. Yeah, so that's really the only other reason. You'll have to go outside of your own little music brain if you really want to just stop music, or you can even go as crazy as to there'll just be AI lurking here. When they notice me, then I can start the music. That's a whole script in of itself. It's like AI changes states. You can do it any way you want, but this is just the easiest way. Okay. Just do it this way, especially if you are just starting out and you're not familiar with scripts. This is it. This is really the only kind of script that you need, and just repeat it. And you can copy all of them. You just select them all, and then you press Y, or whatever your button is. Copy, and then you can paste. You can just do that. But make sure each one of these are your pointers, your areas that you enter these. And you can find those in scripting, by the way. But yeah, I'll probably follow up more on this, but there you go. That's the basics of it.